Welcome to our series of lessons. My name is Ronald Hawaho, and we are going to look at numbers. Uh, After our today's lesson, you to should be able to identify sets of natural numbers. I should be able to also identify the rational numbers. Then we have irrational numbers, integers, real numbers, odd and even numbers. All types of numbers you should be able to identify. If you are to define what a number is, basically we define a number as a mathematical object which is used to count, to measure, and to label. So most times we are used to writing numbers 0 up to 9. That is, we are accustomed to writing 1, 2, 0 up to 9. And that is what we call the decimal-based system of writing numbers. So we have also performed various operations using numbers 1 to 9, that is addition, subtraction, multiplying, and division of numbers. The numbers are summarized in this table here. So we have what we call the real numbers, and the real numbers, they basically consist of irrational numbers, integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers. So this set here clearly shows us which one is a subset of the other, but all these, the rational, integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, and irrational numbers, they are all examples of real numbers, or they are all subsets of real numbers. Also, integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers are a subset of rational numbers. Then whole numbers and natural numbers are a subset of integers, as you can see. And then natural numbers are a subset of whole numbers. So let's look at more details about these types of numbers. If you have to talk about the real numbers, so for the real numbers, for them, they are denoted by a letter R. So we normally use this letter R here to denote real numbers. And they consist of natural numbers, they consist of integers, we have whole numbers, the rational numbers, and irrational numbers. All these are real numbers in making. If you look at the natural numbers, for them, they consist of numbers starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, increasing in the positive way. So the first natural number is 1. So if you have to look at the whole numbers for them, they consist of numbers starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the difference between whole numbers and natural numbers is that whole numbers, for them, they start from 0, whereas the natural numbers, they start from 1. So meaning that all natural numbers are a subset of whole numbers. So you can test yourself with this question and see where the difference lies. If you look at what we call factors and multiples, if one number goes exactly into another number, the first number is what we call a factor, and then the second number is what we call a multiple. So for example, if you look at this, if we multiply 3 and 4, we get 12. So in this case, the 3 and the 4 are called factors of 12. Then the 2 and the 6, which we multiply to get 12 also, are also factors of 12. So since 12 is got after multiplying 3 times 4 and also 2 times 6, then 12 is called a multiple of 2, 3, 4, and 6. So basically, that is what factors are. So if we look at this picture and see what it tells us about factors and multiples. So a factor is a number which is multiplied by another. So for example, a factor basically is got after by a factor is the number that is multiplied by another number. For example, 4 and 12, these are factors of 48, whereas the multiple is a product or solution of multiplication. So for example, 48 here is got after multiplying 4 and 12, so 48 is a multiple. So in future, we shall look at the common factors and common multiples, and we shall see what each of those ones implies. Then prime numbers, for them, they are numbers which have only two factors, 1 and itself. So a number like 1 is not a prime number because for it, it has only one factor. If you were to list the factors of 1, it is only 1. The first 5 prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, and 1. So prime numbers have only two factors, 1 and itself. So if you have to list all the factors of 12, those factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Those are the numbers we multiply to get 12. So out of these numbers, the prime numbers in all these factors of 12 are the numbers 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are what we call the prime factors of 12. I repeat, 2 and 3 are prime factors of 12. So meaning that prime factors are factors of a number which are prime. Then numbers which have more than two factors, for example, like 12, as we've looked at, it has all these factors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So such type of numbers with more than two factors are what we call composite numbers. If you also look at odd and even numbers, odd numbers are numbers that leave a remainder of 1 when divided by 2. Such numbers include 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and the list is continuing in that way. Then for even numbers, for them, they divide exactly by 2. That is, you'll get a remainder of 0. All of them, the even numbers are multiples of 2. So some of the examples of even numbers, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Then rational and irrational numbers. For rational numbers, they can be written in fraction form, that is the form A divided by B, where A and B are whole numbers. We looked at whole numbers, and then B should not be equal to 0. Okay, so then all whole numbers, common fractions, and all terminating or carrying decimals, they all belong in the set of whole numbers. Then irrational numbers, for them, they are numbers which cannot be written in the form of A divided by B. They do not end, or they are recurring and do not end at all. So some of the examples, we have root 2, we have root 5, we have the number 3, root 10, and pi. So these are what we call irrational numbers. Okay, then if you look at finally square numbers and cube numbers, when you multiply a whole number by itself, you get what we call a square number. For example, if you multiply 2 times 2, you're multiplying 2 with itself, you get 4. So 4 is called a square number. Then if you multiply a number 3 times, for example, 3 times 3 times 3 to get 9, 9 is called a cube number because of the way we get it. So the same thing, if you multiply also 2 3 times, that is to get 2 times 2 times 2 to give you 8. So 8 here is also called a cube number. Thank you very much for attending with us. Please remember to subscribe to enjoy all our lessons. Thank you.